I vow to make the grand name of the beauty echo throughout the universe, till I draw my last breath.
So, this Idrila you're talking about, are they in the room with us right now?
My faith is unbreakable.
The Aeon of Beauty Idrila are one of the most mysterious Aeons in Honkai Star Rail. Compared to the others, the information we have about them is extremely limited, but with the newest companion quest of Argenti, the Knight of Beauty, we now can gather some lore details. Hidden in Argenti's boss fight, for example, are the names of his 3 summons and their skills: Diadem of the Stale, Honors of the Red Queen, Aimer of Destined Death. Wait, Destined Death? Today I'd like to continue our discussion about the Aeons, or the paths and beliefs from Honkai Star Rail universe and their possible manifestations in the world of Teyvat, which as we know belongs to the same world tree as Billabog or Sanjo Lofu. Previously, we looked at Nanook the Destruction and Yaoshi the Abundance. Now, who exactly is the Beauty? Why do I think they're connected to the Lord of Flowers, an ancient deceased deity that once lived in the desert of Sumeru? How does one of the 3 Moon Maidens and the civilization of Seelie connect these 2 gods? To understand it, we first need to collect everything we know about Idrila. Once, they witnessed the ultimate meaning of the world's existence and showcased it to heroes, villains, and mortals. As Fu Shan writes in the Glimpses into the Beyond, calling Idrila the Wonder Gazer, the true meaning behind the beauty's path is the integration of consciousness, insight, and values. So simply put, the path of Idrila is not just an aesthetic, but the ability to see it, to attribute value to an object. Idrila revealed themselves to people under different names and appearances. Some had known them as Anne Duray. In the memory bubble called A Sneaky Love, we enter the memory of a person who led a rebellion against the god of beauty, one which bestowed minds and senses upon people. To this person, Idrila are ugly and hideous because their consciousness is poisoned by jealousy. Argenti describes hallucinations where he followed the footsteps of Idrila, trying to catch a glimpse of their figure. He has never seen them, and the goal of his journey is to finally witness the god of beauty. As Himeko points out, even if Argenti was able to find Idrila, it's questionable whether he would be able to recognize them, since what he is pursuing is the image of the beauty he had created in his own mind. Legend says that once the single universal understanding of beauty was shattered, and with the shattering of people's views disappeared Idrila, as mysteriously as they first appeared. A group of people calling themselves the Mirror Holders travel across the universe collecting pieces of the Mirror of Transcendence, which they believe to be remains of their Aeon. According to them, once the mirror is complete, the god of beauty would be restored as well. Among the other faction that follows the beauty, some agree with the mirror holders about Idrila's passing, but the others, like Argenti, believe the Aeon is simply missing. The Knights of Beauty swear to protect the seeds of beauty, which is quite directly whatever they find worth protecting, to allow those seeds to bloom into radiant flowers that would demonstrate their devotion to the beauty. The goal of their space travels is to spread the word about Idrila. These knights have strict commandments of their faith, the code of chivalry, and they believe that each time they wander closer to death, they get closer to the path the beauty once walked. Could this intention be a cruel joke on Idrila's part? They were known for driving people to complete devastating achievements for their own pleasure, and some of their followers lost their minds in their blind loyalty. Roses and thorns, ancient melodies, endless devotion to a dream, and infatuation with death. The god that grants wisdom but plays with the lies of their devotees, luring them closer to their destined ends. What parallels can we find between the path of beauty and the beliefs of both mortals and gods of Teyvat? A gentle flower, a caring soul, Noelle is also a knight clad in roses. She is known for her outstanding devotion to the Knights of Favonius. The rose on her arm means, "My lips are sealed." It is her silent vow to keep the secrets of her superiors, one of which is Lisa, the Witch of Purple Rose. Although she's one of the first characters we get in the game, her past is still an enigma. Somehow, roses are connected to the witches in general. Ender's daughter, a famous writer, chose to decorate her book The Boar Princess with a rose, and Ivanovna, a witch who decided to leave Hexenzirkel to get married, is portrayed dancing among thorns, a rose motif in the background and a rose petal in her cup. It is known that Ivanovna ended the suffering of her husband, which may be a reference to destined death as well. After the death of an old friend, Ethan from our village was dedicated to growing the golden rose his friend spoke of, a mythical flower that grows from a stone. As a folk song of Sumeru says, it's not the land but the minds of people that carry it and defy its fate, similarly to Idrila, that now are but an idea existing in the minds of their followers. Themes of mad obsession can be found in the collection of stories called Thousand Nights. One such story tells us about a mirror palace where the main character finds a mysterious figure that possessed her dreams, only to be pierced with a dagger, a bloody rose on its end. As for bloodstained chivalry and knights walking on the brim of death, there's almost too much of these concepts in Genshin Impact. As you probably already understand, we don't know enough about Idrila to really connect their path to any existing character in the game, especially with Hexenzirkel only hinted to us once through a trailer. Although if there is someone in Teyvat that in your opinion represents the ideas of beauty, I would love to read your theory in the comments. Right now, I will introduce you to a theory of my own. Let me tell you about the goddess of flowers. She was also known under many names: Lord of Flowers, Mistress of Dreams, Queen of all Oases, Mistress of Pushpavatika, Nabu Malikata. Some say she died, some believe she mysteriously disappeared. Even so, she still has followers, such as Tanit tribe and some of the other desert dwellers, who believe she eternally slumbers in the fairy tale oasis. She was known for her exceptional beauty, and legends say that flowers grew wherever she stepped. On the day of the greater Lord Rukhadevata's birthday, the Lord of Flowers invited gods for a celebration and danced for her friends. Beautiful padisaras that bloomed under her feet were flowers that the Lord of Wisdom tried to recreate after the death of her beloved friend. After her exile from her former home, the water lilies that grew from her wound's blood on the desert paths she walked gave birth to the Jinn, familiars of the Lord of all Oases. Although we don't know much about her personality, we know that the Jinn can be mischievous and cruel. One such genie destroyed a city of Gurabad and was shattered by King Deshret. They can wear different appearances, they can lie and laugh, and also they are capable of love, something that Nabu Malikata herself did not experience. It is stated in her first conversation with Rukhadevata that although King Deshret was enamored with the Lord of Flowers, she did not reciprocate his feelings. Despite that, we know that she formed an alliance with the Red King that led to a catastrophe and their mutual demise. It is hinted in some game materials that death might have been a conscious decision on her part. Many people believe she was an exiled Seelie. References of the moon, the moonlight, the fact that she was known for her wisdom and called herself the spirit created in the beginning, the shimmering light that flows from the eyes of the Creator, the very idea that out of all the exiled Seelie, she was the only one able to keep her body and mind, in my opinion tells us that she was an important figure within the gods of the old. Some theories even call her one of the shades of Phanes, since it's believed that the 5 artifact types represent the primordial one and his 4 shades, and as the Lord of Flowers, she might be connected to the Flower of Life. The symbol continuously used by the ancient civilization of Teyvat that is widely believed to be the Seelie themselves is the exact copy of the one that represents the path of beauty in Star Rail. As the partner of King Deshret, could Nabu Malikata have been called the Red Queen? Her connection to flowers and wisdom is openly stated in many lore pieces, while Idrila, who are associated with a rose, were known for bestowing minds and senses upon people. Similarly to the Aeon of Beauty, the Mistress of Dreams showed people their dearest delights in their sleep. And personally, I believe that the Lord of Flowers knowingly led the Scarlet King to his destined death. Through action alone we can convey our intent faithfully, says Argenti. Ancient texts of Sumeru have something similar written in them. In an abandoned confession of the Knight of Beauty, we find out that their code of chivalry is called the Commandments of Sonnet. In Genshin Impact, Sonnet is the name of one of the 3 moon maidens who ruled over the sky in the times when the Seelie race lived in Teyvat. Considering the important role of the moon symbolism in the story of the Lord of Flowers in the Djinn, this name might be another hint about the long-lost deity. After all, only the Seelie ancestor who fell in love with a traveler from afar, with the 3 sisters of the Lunar Palace as their witnesses, is implied to not have lost their appearance and instead lost their memory. But this is a topic for another video. Could the Lord of Flowers have been an emanator of beauty in the world of Teyvat? What secrets does a Seelie hold in a court adored by wings? Silent like the 3 statues created in the name of beauty, one that is known to have courage to pierce through the darkness, one that was determined to protect all the living, and a lonely rose, only known for its everlasting appeal. The Seelie's lips are forever sealed, for the sin of their ancestor.